It all started with a perfectly coiffed hairdo, a pristine white blazer, and a simmering rage brewing beneath the surface. Deborah, or Deb as she preferred, though everyone called her Karen behind her back, was on the warpath. The school board meeting was tonight, and the proposed changes to the school's cupcake policy were the final straw. Years of suppressed anxieties, perfectly organized Tupperware parties, and PTA meetings gone awry had culminated in this. This was her moment. This was her hill to die on, or at least, her hill to loudly, dramatically, and meticulously object on. She had armed herself with meticulously researched statistics, mostly pulled from questionable internet sources, a prepared statement that could rival a Gettysburg Address in length, and a bottomless supply of perfectly brewed iced tea. The battle lines were drawn. The sugar-laden war was about to begin. The air in the school board meeting room crackled with tension. The aroma of slightly burnt coffee hung heavy in the air, a grim foreshadowing of the impending chaos. Deb surveyed the scene, her eyes narrowed, calculating her next move. The board members, each looking like they'd rather be anywhere else, shifted uncomfortably in their seats. One nervously adjusted his tie, another meticulously tapped a pen against his teeth. Even the usually unflappable superintendent seemed a bit pale around the gills. This wasn't just any meeting. This was a battlefield of buttercream and sprinkles, a showdown of epic proportions over the very fabric of sugary goodness. Deb took a deep breath, the iced tea sloshing slightly in her cup, preparing to unleash her fury. With the grace of a seasoned warrior, Deb approached the microphone. Her voice, amplified by the boardroom's sound system, resonated with a practiced, almost theatrical intensity. She began with the proposed changes to the cupcake policy, meticulously dissecting each point with the precision of a brain surgeon. Her delivery was a masterpiece of controlled fury, each syllable dripping with righteous indignation. She quoted obscure bylaws, cited dubious studies on childhood obesity, and even invoked the spirit of her late grandmother, a woman known for her legendary chocolate chip cookie recipe. The board members listened, their initial nervousness escalating into full-blown terror. The board members, initially amused by her over-the-top performance, began to feel the full weight of Deb's wrath. One member attempted to interject, but Deb cut him off mid-sentence with a wave of her hand and a pointed glare. Another tried to subtly consult their notes, but Deb's laser-focused gaze ensured this was impossible. The superintendent, usually so calm and collected, started nervously fidgeting with his glasses. Even the usually stoic security guard seemed to be considering a strategic retreat. Deb was in her element, a force of nature unleashed, unstoppable in her quest for cupcake justice. Suddenly, Deb launched into an impassioned rant about the inferior quality of the proposed sugar-free cupcakes. She described in vivid texture, dry as sawdust, and the taste, like licking a cardboard box. The force of her description was enough to make several attendees visibly shudder. She slammed a crumpled napkin, supposedly a sample of the offending cupcake, onto the table. The board members winced. The room held its breath. This was not merely a discussion about school policy. This was a full-blown assault on the senses. The meeting went on for another excruciating hour. Deb's arguments ranged from the logistical impracticalities of the new policy to the existential threat it posed to the very spirit of childhood joy. She questioned the board's commitment to the well-being of the students, their understanding of baking science, and, most importantly, their appreciation of the finer things in life, namely perfectly frosted cupcakes. By the end, the board members were exhausted, defeated, and thoroughly convinced that Deb was capable of anything. The final vote was unanimous. The cupcake policy remained unchanged, a testament to the sheer power of Deb's determination. Not a single board member dared to oppose her. The room erupted into a low hum of relief, not from the board, but from the parents who had secretly been on Deb's side all along, yearning for a bit of well-deserved cupcake chaos. Deb, basking in the glow of her victory, surveyed the room with a smug satisfaction. Her iced tea, miraculously still mostly full, seemed to shimmer in the soft light. The battle was won. The cupcakes were safe. The world, for a brief moment, was right. As Deb swept out of the room, the lingering aroma of iced tea and slightly burnt coffee seemed to follow her. She left behind a room filled with the lingering scent of triumph and a renewed sense of respect for the power of one determined, well-caffeinated, and exceptionally organized Karen. The legend of the Cupcake Karen would live on, whispered in hushed tones amongst future generations of school board members. And so the school continued, its cupcake policy intact, a testament to the unpredictable power of parental advocacy and the enduring legacy of a woman who dared to fight for what she believed in, a world where perfectly frosted cupcakes reigned supreme. The end, for now,